I thought I could go through the water.
That's why you've been teleporting?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'll just fix it real quick, just a second. Alright, so we know kind of where we have to go. In the meantime, I'm looking around for items and stuff. We had been talking before the Radon fight about my 50 favorite video games.
Yes.
Remember this?
Yeah, your favorite you said was James Bond Jr.
Yep.
Your second favorite was Gunsmoke Pete or whatever that game was for the Xbox.
Gunsmoke Pete? What the heck is that?
That game for the Xbox, where you play as like that sheriff guy and you're shooting Native Americans. What was that game?
Are you sure this isn't just your modded fantasy of Oregon Trail?
Was that what I was playing?
Yeah, that might be what you were playing. No, so remember how I went on and on about Birth by Sleep being more mature than the rest of Kingdom Hearts and stuff?
Yeah.
I talked about that for a while. So that was where I left off, as far as I know. Also, it might seem stupid what I'm doing, but I already did find one item, so I'd just like to scour the area real quick.
Okay.
The one after Kingdom Hearts, so let's backtrack here real quick. We're on 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41. We're on 40. That is Metal Gear Solid 2 for me.
Okay.
Now...
wait, this is your first Metal Gear Solid game?
On the list?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There are a couple of things that I need to edit down, though, or, like, change later on. Like,
okay.
there's something I'm going to change later on. But yes, it's Metal Gear Solid 2. This game was actually the first Metal Gear Solid game I played.
Okay.
I didn't have a PS1 when Metal Gear Solid originally came out. What is over here? And I was just in love with this game. I love the story. I love how they progress it and all the optional codec conversations you can have and all this other stuff. It's really, really cool. They have so many different hidden secrets in Metal Gear Solid 2. It makes Metal Gear Solid 1 look like an elementary school game in comparison. Not like in terms of quality, because I love 1.
Yeah.
But in terms of like secrets and hidden stuff to do and things like that, I love it. The reason it is not even higher on my list, I will tell you, is because... Oh, here he is.
Hey.
Is because of Raiden. And I like Raiden, but he's not nearly as good as Snake in that game. He gets better later in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you more after we talk to this guy.
Ah, good. I was waiting for you. What a sick way to fight, eh? The glory of the clash is shared. By Radon. And you. And did you see that afterwards? A falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radon was holding back something of that scale. He was a living legend if ever I saw one. And the path has now been cleared. To Nokran, where Rani's fate will be decided. Let's meet where the falling star bit the earth. We'll take up our swords once more. For Mistress Rani. Let's meet where the falling star and we'll go into battle again. My only purpose is to fight for Rani's fate. Sword and fang. The curtain's rising. On the final act.
I really like this guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Let's wait here. And so Radon was a Great Rune guy. Was he optional?
I don't think so.
Okay. So for leveling up, we don't have enough yet. There was something I was going to do.
I'll see what his ability does.
Yeah, so what we have to do is we have to activate that, actually. Real quick.
Yeah.
That's Godric's. Oh wait, is this one? Radon's Great Rune. Seek the divine tower of Caelid, which stands upon the precipice at the Dragon Barrows.
Oh, is that out by where you were leveling up before? Like up there? The dragon... Wait, we went to the dragon... Oh, up.
No, I was just looking for the name Dragon Barrow.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
probably
that.
that or the other one up there.
So do we want to leave the desert, or do you want me to go over here and look around first?
Let's go activate that room.
Okay. So I was going to say with Metal Gear Solid 2, the only reason it's not higher is because, yes, they develop Raiden over the course of the game, and I really like him. I don't want to get too deep into this because Nate hasn't played 2 yet, but basically you're not playing as Snake for the majority of the time.
Right.
Raiden's cool, but at first he's very Episode 2 Anakin-y. And what I mean by that is, like, he has his moments where he's really cool, And then he has his moments where he's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find my second marker. Where is this? There's that one. So where's this stupid other one?
You had probably way up there. Oh yeah, up at the tower.
Annoying. Okay, let's get rid of that. So that's kind of just why it's not higher. Like, when you get to Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid Revengeance and stuff like that, Raiden is awesome. Like, I genuinely think he's up there with Snake in terms of a badass, amazing character.
Right.
But Snake, even in Metal Gear Solid 1, I know he had been in the classic Metal Gears, but my point is, even in the first modern Metal Gear he was in, he was a badass, he was awesome. You really liked, like, him, like, he was very likable. You liked hearing him talk, and you liked being him, right? There was a lot of times with Raiden where I kind of was like, I would rather be Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Right.
And that's the only reason why, like, sometimes it frustrated me in terms of, in terms of why I didn't put it higher on the list. But other than that, I love it. I love it starts out with the tanker incident, then it goes to the big shell. I will say you remember how memorable the villains were from the first game?
Yeah.
It does the exact same with a lot of villains in terms of making very memorable villains who matter. And I would say they don't fall flat compared to the previous entry, right?
Right.
I'm trying to decide which way to go. Left one?
Left you in.
I'm going to go this way.
Okay.
You know, I would, like, that's a problem with writing, is like when you bring in sequel characters and villains and stuff, that you're running the possibility that they're not as good or interesting. That was something I think, not to go back to Kingdom Hearts a billion times, but I think that people were worried about with, like, Aqua, Terra, and Aqua, Terra, and Ventus, was like, oh man, are these people going to be as interesting to me as Sora? And when it comes to Raiden, he wasn't quite as interesting to me. But the stuff around him was, and the stuff with the game really kind of makes you question reality in terms of...
There's a bridge right up there. Or a ladder.
Well, should I check over there first real quick for an item?
Sure.
Like this way. It's really hard to see here. The game really makes you question certain things and think throughout the course of the game, and also it pretty well predicted things like artificial intelligence, which is nuts. I just love how forward-thinking Kojima was with it, but it also doesn't lose some of the goofiness and silliness of Metal Gear Solid. It feels like you're playing through a very serious anime, you know? And that's one of the things I like about it, where it still has this heart and lighthearted elements to it. Sorry, I just wanted to see if there's anything over here. We'll go back. And it didn't drop those, and I was really glad with that. And the gameplay is actually just overall an improvement. The game plays much better. It's not nearly as aged or dated. Those games, I really wish, though, we would get, like, remakes for on the Fox engine. I would be, like, just never leaving my house again, playing that just nonstop. It's a real shame that the series is mostly abandoned.
Yeah, that was my biggest complaint with the first Metal Gear, was the gameplay just didn't look fun. I'm just going to be honest there. It didn't look fun.
Well, because I played it, right? You didn't, really?
I think I played probably like 20 minutes, and it was just confusing. It was hard. It was bad camera angles. I don't know. I didn't really like the gameplay. I thought the gameplay maybe for when it came out might have been cool, but now that we've refined the gameplay experience and just video games in general, you go back and play that, and it's definitely very dated.
So I totally understand that, but I will say that I think the story carries that game.
Oh, the story was great.
And I think...
And the characters.
I'm not, like, disagreeing with you on the gameplay being dated, because it was, but...
I think that's a cliff there.
Yeah, once I got used to it, though, I thought that it worked well. Once I got used to it. Before that, no, I agree. I mean...
Well,
no, I think you really do have to go this other way. Unless this is a wall. No?
It's scary. Okay.
I don't know. Like, what was the point of coming up here?
I don't know. Oh, wait, can drop down there. Go to the end and maybe drop down. Like what that guy just did.
Right here?
Yeah, there's a ledge there. And then, then go over there. You might have to jump. Kind of looks like it.
Oh.
Okay.
That was odd.
Oh, jeez.
Well, hopefully whatever was on that guy wasn't important. Yeah, I don't know. I love Metal Gear Solid 2. The gameplay is an improvement. It is still confusing, though. Mm-hmm. I will say, the controls and stuff. Like, I went back and played it a little bit ago again. It's very hard to get used to those classic Metal Gear games. I don't know... I don't want to say the controls are bad, but, like, they're very counterintuitive to what I think a game's controls should be, where I don't understand how to intuitively learn the game.
Right.
I think controls have advanced past that point. I also think the game was trying to do so much that it's really hard because it was trying to be something so different and new. And then the sequels were trying to build off of that, but it was already complex.
Yeah.
And you hit a point where, like, the story and the controls become... I couldn't see that. You hit a point where the story and controls become so complicated that I don't know how you get really used to them.
Yeah.
There was a thing down there. I don't even know how you get that. Do you think there's a way to wait till day to see here? Because I can't see this at night.
I think you can.
Like, how did it become night instantly, though? Is that just part of the game?
It might be. Well, now it's like daytime. I'm gonna quick go pee.
I'm dry as bone. Fool dragon, surrender your faith, let me feast on your heart.
Got to daytime?
Yeah. This is a lot easier to do out.
Sorry.
You literally just took out my entire leg. I can't go anywhere ever again.
I just kicked you at warp speed. So what was next on your list?
Well, can I finish one thing real quick about Metal Gear Solid? One thing that I love about it too is that the villains are very anime. Mm-hmm. Not to repeat a point here because I know I already said anime, but like they really do feel like they stepped out of something very Japanese. And there's characters like Vamp that I think are just as interesting, if not more interesting, than the villains in the original.
Oh, jeez.
And I just love the way that Kojima wrote those characters. I love the way that the game feels when you play it. There's just something about those games that it makes you feel like you're smart, when you beat it.
Yeah.
And I think that they do a really good job of taking everything. It never goes so far that you don't feel like you're playing a game, but it also never makes you feel like you're an idiot or I guess, how do I put this? I'm like losing my train of thought because I was thinking about this tower. It never like makes you feel bored really either, in my opinion. Like, yes, like it treats you like you're smart, but it's not like some up its ass super intellectual thing. I get that some people think Kojima is that way, but he's really not. It's all for fun, but it also is stuff that is partially plausible, too. Like, they start to get into some really interesting stuff with the government and WMDs and things like that I think is very Kojima, but also very, very Metal Gear and really fit the series. And I guess pushed it forward and started to introduce characters like Solidus Snake that I find, while underused, interesting. Mm-hmm. And I'm really glad because I was kind of thinking at a certain point, like, oh, well, maybe we're just hitting a point where, this whole series is Snake only and it doesn't matter other than Snake and there will never be another interesting character. But, Raiden and some of these other guys really kind of proved that wrong, and I was really happy with it. I also think I made a mistake, and I don't know how to fix it.
What was the mistake?
Like, I think I had to drop down there.
Oh.
And now it seems like you just can't.
Oh, jeez.
I did it.
Yeah, that was definitely something I really liked about at least the first Metal Gear Solid game was just all like the hidden details in the game. It was never just, you're playing a game, but when you figure out stuff, like for example, having like the handkerchief of Sniper Wolf in the first game, and how like if you had that, the wolves would not attack you in the cave.
Right.
because the handkerchief smells like sniper bolt. If
Yeah,
you
they're
didn't
master
if you didn't have that, you could still make it through the game. You could still get through that cave, but it's just like a cool detail or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. It was just stuff like that where you play it and it's kind of like, jeez.
I'm trying to think of how to do this. Sorry.
What about your fire attack? It can hit you through the walls.
Apparently, but like my fire attack can't hit through the walls.
Oh, jeez, I'm like really scared.
Why am I not?
You have no flasks?
I thought I did.
Oh, jeez.
This is sad.
There we go, finally.
Get out of here.
Like, jeez.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, like finding the handkerchief, those are the kinds of things I'm talking about that I think really elevated that game and made it feel almost more like an experience.
Yeah.
In a way, and it made you feel like
Good jump.
like it's something proud where it's like, I beat Metal Gear Solid. That's awesome. I love this game. And I didn't expect to feel that way about it, I guess, as much as we do now, both of us.
Right.
Where I'm a big fan of the series. I guess I can move on from Metal Gear. Sorry, I could talk about Metal Gear Solid 2 all day and get into specifics. I was really trying to talk about it without spoiling the game for you.
Right.
That's kind of why it was a little difficult.
Well, we'll play it on the channel, too. So.
Yeah, we definitely plan to. I plan to play at least 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know after that. I used to say no to 5 because it's so big, but now that we've started playing games like this, I think that it would be small in comparison.
Right.
And I don't think there would be any reason to not play it. So we could probably play the Kojima era of it. I don't know if there's much point in Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
It's just kind of an okay game. It's not bad, but it's...
I think you're already here.
I can't figure out where to go. It's very confusing. And...
Well, I don't get why this has to be this confusing. Like, why can't it just be a tower?
Well, do you think that maybe let's do this. Because I keep redoing the same part. Okay, can I tell you my next one, though?
Yeah.
It's Borderlands 1 Game of the Year.
Okay.
This game really introduced me to, I don't want to say couch co-op, but like modern couch co-op where you could play it with a friend and stuff and you could progress the entire RPG together. Mm-hmm. And I always thought that was really, really awesome. Plus it has really interesting characters like Handsome Jack. It's got an amazing, it's got like an amazing art style with all of this cel-shaded type stuff, and it still holds up. You know, I really wish that they would make more games like that. When you look at something like this, it is really cool, and it's fantasy, so I don't think it'll age as much. Mm-hmm. Same with Dark Souls. But, you know, when you look at a photorealistic game, like let's say you look at Detroit Become Human, that game is going to look very, very different in terms of its believability in a handful of years versus now, because the technology is going to progress and change to the point where you might not really consider that realistic looking anymore. But with something like Borderlands, these cel-shaded type things, even something that's aged like, Mega Man Legends, you can still look at the cartoon graphics and it's a cartoon, you know, like cartoons don't age as much. Imagine watching a movie that had a bunch of special effects in the 80s or watching Simpsons. Simpsons just has like a timeless feel to it.
Right.
And I really do think that a lot of these video games that are able to capture that have the same thing. Do you have an idea of where to go?
Not really. Dead end ahead.
That we will die. I really do think it's scaling the tower. But now I don't know. Now I wonder if it's not scaling tower. There's stuff down there.
Like maybe it's trying to get down lower?
But you can't. So I don't know. Because there's also these things up. But then it's like, are these up only to get the stone sword key and that's it?
I think it's probably just get the items because we've already done all this stuff.
Right, but then how do I get there, you know? Do you want me to try going down? Because, like, I don't see a way to go down.
Well, what if you,
Like, I can get here.
what if you go back to your right, where you, like, originally came from?
Okay, this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then... what if you drop down on that tree branch, or that tree trunk? Or would that kill you?
That will kill me.
To drop, like, down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy died there.
Oh, well, that's because he missed the tree trunk. But if you...
I guess I made it.
And it looks like maybe you can drop down there, too.
Yeah, let me check here real quick first.
But yeah, I get what you're saying with Borderlands. Like, something like Marvel vs. Capcom was at 2 or 3, whichever that one was on the 360, and then they brought to, like, the next gen. Everyone there had, like, a comic book design.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I could play in 15 years from today, and it still would look like the comic book design. You know, it's not
going to age.
Yeah, like,
much.
you know, like a game that actually aged pretty poorly, I would say. Not poorly as in it's a bad game, but like the graphics on them was, to me, Assassin's Creed 2.
Yes.
Especially when they tried to remaster it for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. If you look at the faces in that game now, they look really bad.
Yeah, they look horrible.
It's bad. And I feel like games that come out now, like even Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I kind of wonder what we'll think about that game in 20 years. Like, will we play Valhalla and be like, hey, this looks pretty good? Or in 20 years from now, will it be kind of like, this is okay?
Well, the good thing is that you and I are not people who care that much about graphics.
No.
I mean,
if the game's fun, the game's fun.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII. Those graphics are garbage.
Terrible graphics.
But it's an amazing game.
Yeah.
You know, you
fun.
loved it. And it's probably not in your favorite games ever, but it was...
No, it's not in my list.
It was up there for, like, games you really liked.
Yeah, it was a fun game. I liked it.
It's one of Jill's favorite games ever. So
I kind of liked 10 more than that, but I probably just grew up with 10.
No, I get that completely.
But... yeah, anyways.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, why does it make it look like you can go there? And yeah, the message says no comfort ahead. You know, people will say, like, you guys ignored the message. Half the messages are freaking troll.
Right.
Like, they're not real. They're like someone saying, like, there's not a boss here, and then there's 300 bosses there.
Right.
It's like, that's not helpful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell if these messages are real. Well, it's based on the votes. It's not, though. I've seen messages with 0 upvotes that are helpful.
Yep.
And I've seen messages with 300 upvotes that are a troll trying to get you to kill yourself.
It works.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hope these people don't work on the hotline.
Jeez.
You know, like, so you call in and you're like, I'm having thoughts, and they're like, do it. Do it.
Give in to your anger.
End it now.
No one likes you.
No one likes you. I don't like you either. You best watch yourself. I've got the death sentence in 10 systems.
I like how,
I'll be careful. You'll be dead!
I love that line from Luke. I'll be careful. Like, just kind of like, whatever.
I know. Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Okay. What's going on here?
Right. Okay. Wrong thing. I know. I'll be careful. You'll be dead! This little one's not worth the trouble. Let me buy you a drink. Raw!
Have you, like, memorized that whole scene?
Yeah.
I recently watched episode 4, actually.
Yeah, really great movie that I don't like watching that much. I love the movie, but it's very slow. It's the slowest Star Wars movie.
Yeah. It's my third least favorite one. But anyways, your list was after Borderlands.
Well, should I talk
unless
more
you had
about
more
Borderlands?
Unless you had more to say about Borderlands.
I did actually have more to say about Borderlands. I've also been trying to explain these because Jill said maybe eventually we can take these audios and make them actual videos.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Like lists, but... So I feel like if I just say Borderlands good, that's not really a great description. One of the things I also like is the planet that you are on, and I love all the exploration and the memorable characters you meet. And it's getting to the point where some of those characters are getting spin-off games and everything. Now, that's milked, but I'm just saying they are characters that people connected with and really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And people waited years and years for Borderlands 3. I know it let some people down. I haven't played 3. I have the most experience with 1. But I want to go back to those eventually. And I just love really most of the stuff in 1. And, it had this feeling, too, almost like an MMO shooter, where you go around and you will fight all these enemies and stuff.
Kill you.
But it's not down here, by the way, I don't think.
Okay.
The way to progress. You'll fight all these enemies and stuff, and you'll shoot them, and numbers will pop up when you hit them and stuff. And I always thought that was really interesting. I know some other games do that, but it's one of the earlier games, like, there was a shooter that I remember doing that, especially for single player, because it just kind of made me feel like I was having this experience that I usually only saw in MMORPGs and that sort of stuff online, but I could have it with myself or with a friend. And even the characters that you make, the class that you pick, that character has a backstory and lore to them, and they have specific abilities in a ability tree that you can level up over time that other characters don't necessarily have. So I could have a completely different experience playing through the game as Lilith, that's one of the characters, than I could playing through it as someone else. And I always thought that was really neat.
Wait, Lilith is one of the characters?
Yeah.
It's a biblical reference.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There must be a way to go this way, by the way.
What if you went to the up branch?
No, you can't go up, look.
Oh.
It hits a 90-degree angle.
And then climb up the ladder.
Hey, he lived. Look.
Huh.
The boy who lived.
That's kind of a coincidence there. Or not, not a coincidence, a lucky break.
Yeah.
For that guy.
This seems poorly made.
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong that this seems a little unfair? Do I need my horse?
Yeah, you need to get your horse, and then basically you're going to be... There's like multiple sections like this up and down this that you're going to have to double jump on, like that. And then that one, too. Jeez. And then obviously go to the top. I don't know why it's so close to the edge.
I don't know. Just to be annoying. And is this the only way to get up here?
I think so. I think once you get to the top, there's a grace point right in there.
Okay.
Jeez,
this sucks. So then, hopefully we can kind of make more progress here, because this is really frustratingly hard.
Yeah, touch grace.
What if you fell right here?
I would murder someone.
Divine Tower of Caelid. Okay, it's not very divine. It sucks.
I know.
Alright, so now we can actually explore. So should I move on to my next one?
Yeah.